Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz. Today I just want to hone in on the topic of dating. That was one of the biggest challenges that I faced as a single mom. Just really accepting myself and understanding how people in my society around me, actually just people in general, what they normally think about single moms and what a lot of people are saying about people like me that had my kid out of wedlock, and just the negativity that's all associated with dating a single mom and what that also meant for me. If this is something that resonates with you, please stick around, and also don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. So first and foremost, the dating world right now is cutthroat. It's been cutthroat and it's just getting worse. People out there are just so mean. It's not okay. More and more people just don't have that ability to really try and understand other people's viewpoints. A lot of people are just being more judgmental. A lot of people are just being more just savages out there, and it's crazy. It's terrible. It's becoming a little bit more harder to date, not just as a regular single woman, but as a single mom. It's just that much harder because so many people are just now being closed off to that idea of dating a woman with kids that aren't theirs. So my experience hasn't really been the best either. I've been single actually ever since I gave birth to my kid at the age of 18. I didn't really stay with her dad after giving birth to her because I knew that he was not right for me. I knew that was never gonna go anywhere. I left the relationship after I got pregnant. There was no point in me egging something on that I knew wasn't really good for me, that wasn't beneficial for myself or for my child, so I cut it off immediately. Some women choose to stay, but I did not. Which women, if a guy isn't good for you or is gonna drag you down or is not really someone that's gonna be encouraging you or is someone that's gonna be causing you trouble, leave them. You're more important. You and your child are more important. So my dating experiences, I've had some good, some that were just outright terrible. I've had more negative experiences than I had positive experiences with dating these guys, but that could very well be because of the kind of guys that I was chasing or choosing at that time. I've had men that really did like me, but for one reason or the other, for instance, religion being one, I'm Christian and the other person was Muslim, just couldn't work out, although we really wanted to be together. He accepted my kid, accepted myself, and wanted to marry me, but it just wasn't gonna work out because we both had preferences, the kind of person that we want to marry. I've also had a situation where I was with somebody that loved me and also accepted my daughter as is, but he just was not really willing to do anything about his life. He was fine with working at a warehouse and not really growing himself, in which that's fine for him, but for me, I wanted somebody that I could grow with. So that just didn't work. I've had other guys that would approach me, but for one reason or the other, I would flat out say no. I've had a guy that wanted to marry me, but he was just way too old for me, like almost 30 or 40 years older than me. I wanted somebody that was gonna be able to grow old with. I wanted somebody that I would be able to have additional kids with and grow old with or spend forever with. So that was a no. I've had some good memories. I've had some good people come into my life, but for one reason or the other, it never really worked. But in comparison to the good, I've had a lot more bad apples. Bad apples, terrible people that would come into my life, and I allowed it. I said yes. The types of people that I was looking for, that I was attracted to, were those bad boys. Guys that were just a little rough around the edges, or guys that I thought I could save. I was more focused on their physical attributes than on their characteristics. And that's not the way you should do it. That's where I went wrong. For instance, I dated a guy for a long time, and we were never in a relationship, just more of a friendship in which we both knew we really liked each other and we wanted to be with each other, but he just could not commit because he did not want to have kids. And that's okay. I stayed. Why I stayed, I don't know. I just thought I could change his mind, which women, you can't change their minds. If they're telling you they don't want something, listen to it, go your own way. That's where I went wrong. I stayed thinking I could change his mind. It never happened. I got hurt at the end of the day, and I took it completely wrong, saying no one wants me, no one wants to be with me. But in that situation, that was my own fault. I have also had another situation where a guy that I was friends with initially for a long period of time, we started to explore the possibility of dating, And there came a day where I don't remember exactly what transpired between us, but he flat out told me, I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a favor by talking to you. I'm doing you a favor by wanting to even be with you. Like, you should be happy that I'm even talking to you. Like, somebody like me talking to you, you should be happy. I'm like, oh, no. I've also had guys that would string me along for a long period of time, and I had that internal instinct that it's not gonna work, or he's in it for the wrong reasons, but I would still stay, hoping that if I did X, Y, and Z, or if they knew my heart or whatever it is, that I can change their minds. But that ended up not being true. Although I knew internally, I had that feeling that it was just not gonna work, and majority of the time, I wanna say 99% of the time, my instincts were always correct. So women always pay attention to your instincts, because 9 times out of 10, you're right. After about 6 or 7 years of going through the motion, going through almost the same men, I just decided to just F it. I said, F all of this. I don't care about men. All men are just scums. Every single man out there are douchebags. No one wants me. I'm undesirable. I'm never gonna get married. I started to believe all these things, all these negative things about myself. And just because of the men that I was choosing and how they were responding to me, I started to get on Google and looking up reasons why men won't date single women. I started to fill myself with all these negative things out there that pointed out why a man should not date a single mom. And it just discouraged me even more. After that, I just became so closed off to any men, thinking that every man was like that and I would never be accepted. They would never accept me in my situation. I just became such a sour, angry person, which didn't serve me or help the situation that I was in any way, shape, or form. I continued this way of thinking for a very, very long time. There came a time where I just was like, you know what, F this. I don't really care what anyone is saying anymore. I don't care what the society is saying anymore. I know I want to be in a relationship, and I know I will find somebody that wants to be with me. I just all had to come to terms with the fact that people are entitled to their own opinions, and I had to be okay with men that just didn't want to have anything to do with single women. The same way that you and I have preferences about whom we want to date, what criteria they have to meet, whether you want them to be living in their house alone, a man that drives their own car or lives in their own house, or a man that doesn't have any kids. We all have our own preferences, and the same way that we do ours is the same way that they do theirs. So it's okay for them to say they don't want to be with a single mom. What I don't agree with is people spreading false rumors based on a few single women that they've interacted with, or based on social media posts that they've seen with several single moms. They just like to place people under one giant umbrella, and that's not okay. I don't agree with that at all. You can have your own opinion, but don't generalize the entire single mom race and say they're all the same. It's like saying all Black women are the same, or all Black people are the same, or all Chinese or all white people are the same. That's not okay. After I came to terms with the fact that people are entitled to their own opinion, I also started to work on myself. The way that I saw myself, I had to really build my self-esteem back up and tell myself that I am desirable, even with the kid. I am desirable. I'm a badass. I'm a good woman. I am made in God's image. I am kind. I'm loving. I'm generous. I'm desirable. I had to tell myself that. I really believe it, and know that someone will one day come into my life and accept me the way that I am. I also had to change the kinds of men that I was associating myself with, the kinds of men that I was chasing, because I found that a lot of times these people that we are dating that are saying to us, oh, I can't ever be with a single mom or whatever. Why are we even dating them? Why are we even mad over the fact that they're telling us the truth that they cannot date us? We should be happy that they're telling us the truth versus forcing them into a relationship with you and then finding out later them treating you badly or them leaving you or whatever with 2 additional kids when they've already told you in the past, I don't want a woman with kids. Take it as is, go your own way. But don't let that discourage you. Don't let that discourage you from the dating scene. We are all women of high value here, and the moment that we start to realize our worth and stop chasing after men that we are literally begging for attention from men that don't even want us, our lives will be so much easier. You'll just start to attract those higher quality men that you actually do want into your life once you start getting rid of everything else, getting rid of all the negativity, getting rid of that low self-esteem, and just loving yourself the way you are, because truly you are amazing. Once I started doing that for myself, I did start attracting higher quality men that wanted to be with me, people that wanted to spend their lives with me for the rest of their life, but for one reason or the other that I've already explained, it just could not work out. And I have the mindset that we should never force anything that we know deep down in our hearts would not work out. So how do you navigate this whole dating world? It starts with you. It literally all starts with you. You have to know yourself. You have to be okay with who you are, where you are, and what you have, whom you have. You have to be okay with that. You have to love yourself the way you are and understand and believe, truly believe that you're worth it. You are a beautiful woman and you deserve a guy that's gonna love you and love your kid and uplift you. You deserve everything it is that you're asking for. Now, if you're asking for a man that has like long eyelashes and has a British accent or must have dimples or whatever, like, get over yourself. I do feel like a lot of women miss out on great men because they're looking at their physical attributes versus their personality. It's who a person is that we should be chasing versus what that person looks like or the idea of what we want them to look like. You need to understand that it is going to take some time, multiple trials and errors before you actually find the one or before the one presents themselves to you. It takes a while, but don't give up, because the minute you give up, like, there's really no chance there because you're not really doing anything to bring them your way. Keep yourself available, keep your mind open, choose men, quality men, and not just useless men that you know only want you for your panties. Be very, very smart. Don't just settle for someone that says, oh yeah, baby, come over to my house only at nighttime. Like, don't settle for men like that. Those people don't want to be seen with you outside during the daytime. Don't settle for that. You stick to your absolute must-have list. You stay true to yourself and don't put yourself in situations where your heart can easily get hurt. Whomever it is that you're involved with, make sure you look them up. I'm not saying stalk them, because I've totally never done that before, but just kind of do a background search on them. See what people are saying about them, the kind of person they are, how they treat dogs, how they treat nature, how they treat other people. Really pay attention to those types of things because it tells a lot about someone. Where you're finding these men is also very important. Are you finding the ones that don't want to be with you, that are completely against single moms at the club? Or are you finding them at the grocery store, or at church, or at like a networking event? So navigating the world of dating can seem like a very daunting task, but I do believe that it's something that's very doable. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of communication, but it's doable. You will find somebody. Just make sure that you continuously work on yourself. Make sure you're the kind of person that whomever it is that you're looking for would want to date. Would you want to date you? That's a question that I always ask myself all throughout this time. Would the person that I am desiring to be with for the rest of my life, would they want to date me? Would I even date me? Ask yourself those questions and just love yourself the way you are. Accept your situation the way it is, and just work on your self-esteem, work on your mindset, which is very, very important. And also understand that you are going to meet some of the bad bunches, but those bad bunches aren't a true depiction of how the generalized society or the generalized population of men are. There are good men out there, men that will love you, that will love your child, and will accept you the way you are and the way your child is. Just don't give up. I would also say to make sure you communicate. Don't ever hide from a man, from anyone that you have a kid. First, it doesn't say anything good about you. It says that you're a liar. Second, it says to your kid that you're very, very embarrassed about them to the point where you're just gonna choose to keep them a secret. Third, it's deceptive. The guy's gonna be looking at you, or you might start to think that if I make him fall in love with me first and then later reveal to him that I have a kid, maybe he wouldn't leave me because I've already fallen in love. I've thought about these things too, but it lands you nowhere. Don't do it. Just no go. No. Also be open with whomever it is you're dating about the dynamic, the relationship you have with your kid's dad. Like what kind of drama there is circling that situation, just so whomever it is you're dating has the ability to make their own sound decision right then and there. And it saves you time and energy when you tell them up front versus waiting until later. There are well over 7 billion people on this earth. You're gonna find somebody that will love you for who you are. Just love yourself first and be patient and enjoy the process. Don't try to force anything. You'll find someone. Well, thanks for watching today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.